Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, I am super excited because we are off to go see Death of a Unicorn. If you don't know what this film is about, I'll give you a little up-to-date now. Potential spoilers, this is just for stuff that's in the trailer, so if you haven't even seen the trailer, then you may just want to completely skip this video altogether, because there's details about the title kind of pretty much gives it away, but basically you have Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd. They play a father-daughter who are off to spend the weekend with the family that he works for. They're like this super rich family that's not really sure going into it exactly what they do, but on the way up there to this like quote-unquote cabin lodge, they, being Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega's characters, hit a unicorn out in the woods, and it, as far as we know, it dies, and then things happen, and I'm guessing shit gets crazy. There's what look like some pretty like evil looking unicorns in the trailer, and so I'm excited to see this one. It's gonna be interesting. I have a feeling it's gonna be a bit cheesy going into it, but holy shit. So just got out of seeing Death of a Unicorn, and wow, what a it's a movie in the words of Harry Styles. I am obviously going to try to talk about this film without giving any spoilers. Phenomenal cast. I mean, you have a great cast of notable actors. Everyone did a really good job. Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, both fantastic as always. Honestly, their chemistry on screen, okay, you know, not the best. They both, again, they're both phenomenal actors, but that doesn't always mean that two actors are necessarily gonna be like great together, but they both did really well. I think that Paul Rudd did a great job of, you know, and it's not a spoiler, he's not like a great dad throughout this film, which I feel like if you've seen the trailer, you know, is already kind of like aware, of course. But I do think, again, Jenna Ortega shined as always, like she normally does, and then, you know, the rest of the actors that play this rich family that they're visiting, I'm kind of going off of the mindset that if you're watching this, you've at least seen the trailer, so if you haven't even seen the trailer, some of what I say is probably not going to make any sense, so I would, you know, even though this is like a spoiler-free review, but they did a phenomenal job. Honestly, I think all of their chemistry on screen was really well. Also, I love Anthony Griffin, I think is his name. I'll have to like look it up. He was in this. If you don't recognize his name, you may recognize his face. He was in Gotham, as well as Bernie, I think is the name of the movie, or the TV show. I'll have to look it up, but he kind of always plays this like henchman character, at least that's majority of what I've seen him in, and he's fantastic in this. He's always this kind of like lovable, goofy character that brings like a sense of comedic relief pretty much like everything that I've seen him in, and he did that in this, and like the second I saw him on screen I was like, because I just adore him. I think he's a phenomenal actor, and I knew that he, however much or little he was in this film, but he's actually in it a lot more than I kind of, I guess, expected him to be. I knew that he was at least going to be enjoyable, and he very much was. I mean, everyone was great in the film, it gets cheesy at parts, which maybe intentionally. There's a scene between Jenna Ortega's character and Paul Rudd's character where they have this like heart-to-heart moment. They spend a lot of the film, you know, she's supposed to be a teenager, he's this dad who's just trying to like deal with her and these people that he works with, and you know, they spend a lot of the movie fighting about things, and so they have this very like heart-to-heart moment towards like the end of the film that was just really cheesy, and I was kind of trying to not, I guess, laugh. Like, it's supposed to be like heartwarming, probably tear-jerking. I'm so sure maybe for some people it was. For me, it just felt really cheesy, especially in the midst of this film that is, I mean, you have these CGI unicorns that really, like, I love the way that they did the unicorns. They really are like terrifying. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen somewhat of what they look like. And I love that concept of them being these portrayed as kind of like these monsters, just the way that they look in the film. I think that I love that, and I love the applying the scary aspect to it, but because you're having that and you're having these intense CGI unicorns having these kind of like cheesy moments, especially that one in particular, like moment just felt like a little off in the midst of like everything going on. And obviously like it needed to be like they needed to have that moment as this father-daughter duo. It just, again, maybe it's the chemistry between Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. I'm not sure. Just their chemistry, again, it was just like a little off for me. It wasn't, you know, I've seen better. Even though, again, both, like, not dissing on their acting abilities, they're both phenomenal, but, I think they're also very different. Like, Jenna Ortega very often plays these like very emotional characters, and not to say that she hasn't played like some funny characters, but she is very emotional, and she is playing like a teenage girl who is going through a lot in this film. So, you know, she is obviously very emotional, where you have Paul Rudd, who is often, and not to say they can't play emotional, but often, you know, again, comedic, in even his most serious moments, in a lot. So I think that maybe played into it, just the fact that they have, different vibes, different, I guess, acting styles, maybe offset, again, the chemistry between them. But all in all, I did enjoy the film. It's very fun. And I think that it is worth checking out. I mean, if you're interested in going to see the film, why not, you know, take some time, go check it out. You know, if you've got an hour or two to burn, I think that it is worth checking out, especially because, like I said, I think the whole unicorns were really cool, and that whole aspect was done really well. And I mean, it is a film that dives into, and Jenna Ortega's character even dives into the, you know, concept of greed, and, you know, corruption, especially here in America, which is obviously quite a hot topic right now. And, you know, it's horror. Horror always emulates, mirrors, I guess, what we're current climate of the world as it is, and they definitely do that in this film, which I think is also really great. I mean, the family themselves, the Ridge family, they definitely reminded me a lot of like the House of Usher, if you've seen that film, or if you've seen that show. So it's not, you know, by any means necessarily like a comedy horror. There are moments of comedy throughout it, but you know, they tackle subjects, and I did enjoy that aspect of it as well. So I don't think it's worth checking out. I think it is quite an enjoyable film. And so if you plan on seeing it, definitely go do it. And I may dive deeper, you know, potentially do like a spoiler-free review over on Patreon. I won't necessarily promise anything, but that may pop up, so, you know, head on over there just in case. But if you have seen this film, let me know what your thoughts were on it in the comments below, and I hope that you did enjoy this review. If you did, please give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more spooky and horror related content, and I will see you all again later with another video. Bye.